Students, tourists, work visa aspirants, all of you guys, this is important. I'm giving you tips and tricks so that you can go ahead and get your US visa slot faster, smoother, because right now the situation does not look great, to be honest with you. Before we even begin, I just want to let you know a couple of things. Avoid using bots. That's like the number one thing you could do to piss off the US embassy. And once you do that, trust me, getting a US visa is not going to be easy for you. Another thing is the third country pathway. So where you used to go to Vietnam, China, Nepal, somewhere else, and essentially go ahead interview from there for your US visa, no longer works. It is mandated now that you need to interview from the country of your residence. So if you are living in UK, no matter whether you're an Indian, you can interview from UK. But if you don't have a residence in UK, Singapore, anywhere else, you cannot interview from there. You need to interview from India itself in that case. There's absolutely no news from the embassy on major openings, unlike the last 2-3 years when they used to even inform on their social media slots will be opening up in this month, so on and so forth. Nothing like it. The embassies have almost as good as stopped speaking out, and I don't feel this is because of the government shutdown in the US right now. I know for a fact that US visa embassies and consulates, they are self-funded simply because you pay the fee and then they work. So they have a source of funding essentially. They're not dependent on the US government. However, with that said, even then, the US embassies and consulates have been quite quiet essentially. There's not really much going on and they're not really releasing any appointments. Let's talk about students for a moment. As a student, if you're an international student, you want to come here, study in the US, the first thing you will see is a screen like this. Appointments are just not there. You keep on searching and you keep on selecting the first one, biometric appointment, the actual visa interview appointment, which is the second stage, doesn't show up. So you're not really able to get an appointment because of that. Now, the usual trend for the spring candidates and for the people who are deferring from fall also is that appointments open up pretty much every year in October and November. However, this year, no openings have been there in October at least. I'm talking about major openings. Minor openings, small ones every now and then, a slot here or a slot there. We see them, but major ones are simply not opened yet. Now remember, this is still the first time in the last 4 years now that we have the Trump administration in office, so things will be slightly different. We don't know if there will be a major opening this year or when it is going to be, if it is going to be there. So what you need to do is to do 24/7 monitoring. You need to be there all the times. Every couple minutes you need to check whether an appointment is open, because minor openings are certainly happening. Let me show you a proof. Take a look at this one. So December, January slots are certainly opening for freshers. I'm not talking about refused candidates right now, for freshers. And we have actually had some bookings, and you can see 11 slots were booked last week by our team. And these were the exact kind of slots that we saw. So you can see November, December slots are also being booked. January slots are being booked. But now the problem is refused candidates. If you've been refused a 214B in the last couple of weeks, months, or even in the last 1 year, anytime, essentially, you guys are just simply seeing such a massive lack of appointments. Not even a single appointment is showing up in many accounts. And we have noticed that with some of our own clients. Well, we've been able to get some as well, but then there's so many people waiting. I don't feel very comfortable saying that the embassy is doubling down or really showing up any, support for the refused candidates. It seems like you guys are on your own at this point. My WhatsApp number is in the description. Whether you're a fresher or a refused candidate, doesn't matter. You can get in touch. But my major advice to you is monitor 24/7. Create a group of friends who are going. And if you don't have a big group, you can sign up on YMGrad.com. We will notify you whenever the slots open up. We send out free alerts over email as well. But please don't give up right now. Don't defer, because students will still, in many cases, quite some of you guys can get appointments. All right. Let's also talk briefly about tourists, and this is also super important. Now, the tourist visa appointments are much lesser this year as compared to the student visas. Now, just a couple weeks ago, tourist visa appointments were opening up a lot more, but maybe due to the government shutdown or maybe for some other reason, as of today, there are much lesser appointments being opened up for tourists also. So this is for both B1, B2, business and tourism essentially. Every 1 or 2 weeks, we do see some slots open up and we do get some bookings as well, as you can see on your screen over here. Right now, we're seeing November, December, mostly Jan 2026, these kinds of appointments open up, and we are able to book them sometimes. But my advice to you guys is to keep a placeholder. Probably you will see June 2026 appointments are, open right now, and you'll think, who wants appointments 6 months down the line? You trust me, you do want an appointment 6 months down the line. Book it, and then try to reschedule to an earlier date. Don't lose that date, because once June goes away, then you'll have July, August, September, so on and so forth. And, you'll be at least 6 months away in most cases. Again, for you guys as well, even if you're applying for a tourist visa, the third country pathway is not working. You cannot just, as an Indian person who's an Indian resident, essentially go on to Dubai get an appointment over there. It's not going to work out in most cases because the Trump administration has shut down that pathway. Now you guys can also sign up on YMGrad and we'll send you alerts even for tourist visa. We do it for even work visas, H1B, L1, O1, all kinds of visas essentially. But the goal is that you have a backup. And those are just some of my tips and tricks for you guys to schedule your appointment for your upcoming US visa. Now I know in the past I've given you a lot more and I intend to do that. So make sure you are following me on Instagram so that I'll keep on alerting you whenever appointments open up. And thank you so much for watching this one. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye and take care.